We are back!
I'm Micah.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Coda.
And we are the Cake Bosses!
So we'll be showing you guys how to make gluten-free strawberry cupcakes with the delicious strawberry simple syrup and a decadent balsamic vinegar icing. Not only will we be taking you through the baking process step by step, but we will also be teaching you all about the chemistry of what we are making.
Let's get right into it, guys. Let's start with the why. Why strawberries and balsamic vinegar? While these flavors may sound repulsive together, I will tell you why they are delicious. Let's take a look at the chemistry of strawberries. Strawberries get their sweet taste when they're ripened. Ripening hormones activate genes for enzymes that build color and scent. These ripening hormones also convert starch to sugar to sweeten the fruit and break down the cellulose in the pectin to soften it. Let's be real. No one likes a hard or sour strawberry.
Now let's take a look at the chemistry of balsamic vinegar. The flavor of this vinegar can be described
using food words like fig, molasses, cherry, chocolate, prune, or smoke. Traditional balsamic offers a mellow tartness rather than a strong acidity. Balsamic vinegar is slightly acidic with a pH of 5. It is high in antioxidants and contains acetic acid.
the information around why balsamic vinegar and strawberries go so well together is limited, but here's what we found. Balsamic vinegar contains 5-acetoxymethyl 2-formaldehyde, which acts as a novel sweet taste modulator. This is the likely reason why the vinegar pairs so well with something as sweet as strawberries.
Balsamic vinegar has hints of chocolate, and as you know, chocolate and strawberries go really well together. This is because the bitterness of chocolate and the sweetness of strawberries balance each other out and leave the eater with a yummy, balanced flavors and taste.
So here's what you'll need to make these delicious goodies.
For the syrup for the cupcakes, you'll need 1 pound of frozen or fresh strawberries, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/4 cup of lukewarm water. The salt needs to be kosher for a few reasons. Kosher salt is different from table salt because there are no additional minerals or any iodine added to help with anti-clumping. And make sure the water is lukewarm, otherwise the salt may have a hard time dissolving. To make the gluten-free strawberry cupcake batter, you will need 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose gluten-free baking flour, 3/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, a thickener and stabilizer, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a complete leavening agent, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, another leavening agent, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter, room temperature to be specific, 1 egg white, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, 1/3 of the cup of the strawberry syrup we made earlier, and finally the milk.
Straight from the source.
And finally, for the frosting, you'll need 8 ounces of cream cheese, softened. So leave it out for about an hour or so before using it. You will also need 8 ounces of unsalted butter, softened. So do the same thing you did with the cream cheese. Next, it's finally time for the star of the show. 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And finally, to finish out the frosting, you will need 1/2 cup of confectioner sugar.
And of course, make sure you don't forget your baking pan, blender, saucepan, mixing bowls, stand mixer, and the cupcake liners.
Before the beginning of the process of making the cupcake, you will need to prepare a simple strawberry syrup that will give the cupcakes a sweet strawberry taste. All right, now let's begin.
First, you will need to cut and destem the strawberries.
Once you have the destemmed strawberries, you'll need to add your sugar, your salt, and water into the saucepan over medium heat.
As ingredients heat up in the pan, they will soon start to become soft, which is because the heat will cause the intermolecular forces to become weaker and break down. I wouldn't recommend going too high with the heat to ensure that the mixture doesn't burn, and make sure to stir occasionally. The strawberries will become soft, and the liquid in the pan will reduce to about 1/4 of what the initial amount was. This will indicate to remove the pan from the stove. Next, you're going to blend it until it's smooth. Next, we combine the flour, xanthan gum, baking powder, baking soda, and salt into a bowl. And we are mixing together with a whisk.
Or your fingers if necessary. Just kidding.
Next, we will line the cupcake tins. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect! Next, when we combine the sugar and butter, we are going to mix these with the mixer with the paddle attachment in order to ensure that we are aerating the mixture to allow for the physical change of making it fluffier.
Next, to this butter and sugar mixture, add the egg, egg white, and the vanilla. And mix until well combined.
This next part gets a little tricky. You're going to want to add about half of the dry mix throughout the mixture.
Once they are uniformly spread throughout, add the fresh and delicious strawberry syrup and the milk to the mix.
Finish adding the rest of the dry ingredients. Once they're combined, you can begin to put them in their trays.
As you fill your cupcake liners, make sure that you only fill them 3/4 of the way. Then shake the tray so that they level out in the tray. Make sure you do not fill them up all of the way. The chemical process of baking will release gas, causing the cupcakes to rise. If you add too much batter, they will rise outside of the tins and overflow.
When placing the batter in the preheated oven, make sure to put them in the direct center. Took
About
15 minutes to
cook.
When taking your cupcakes out of the oven, leave them in the tin for about 15 minutes before putting them on the wire rack to cool.
Now let's begin with what is clearly the most interesting and controversial part of these cupcakes, which of course is a balsamic vinegar icing.
You'll start with 8 ounces of cream cheese,
3 tablespoons of balsamic,
and half a stick of butter.
No, 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 no.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't think there's any saving that. After beating the balsamic and the cream cheese, we're gonna add small portions of the sugar. My assistant will help us.
So now we started icing our cupcakes. To start icing the cupcakes, we placed a steel metal icing tip into a plastic bag, and we placed our buttercream into the bag so that we can ice our cupcakes.
Okay, we're about to try the cupcake. That was my first reaction. But really digest all of the flavors. It's the icing. The icing's what gets me. The actual cake part's pretty good.
The cake part is really good.
Yeah. Can I get to try that?
My turn.
I'm so scared.
It's the icing. That was a lot.
Oh. Here I am, taste testing our cupcake, our wonderful, delicious masterpiece.
Okay, I actually really like it. It's really good. The cream cheese frosting really complements the like the cake. And there's no like super crazy aftertaste. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying right now.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Cake Boss is signing out.
Okay, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
How do you open it?
Washing your hands. Then you can grab butter to grab it.
The strawberry syrup we made earlier.